I'm going to do a bbit of a recap because your notes taker is confused.
I updated the notes.
Yeah, but you updated it twice and it was wrong, and I gave up fact checking it.
I updated today based on your texts that you gave.
So this is what happened last session after the fight with the Sturgis in the dark corner of the pits. Right, you guys found someone who seems to know where the hidden repository is, and he was leading you towards where he where he gave you directions. And as you approach the center of the pits, that is where you noticed that there was a similar, well, not similar, it's like a replica of the big statue, but this one is a bit smaller, and smaller only by comparison. Even, with the sitting position, it is about like 10 feet tall, the statue. And what caught your attention is like three very colorfully dressed dwarf standing in front of it and were like pointing, and they were like discussing very animatedly. And you guys wanted to approach them to kind of eavesdrop a little bit what they were talking. So I think it that Corrin, having good experiences with like dwarfs, took the lead, and so he didn't notice what happened next. So Nailo, you were not aware of what happened, but you were drawn towards the statue. And
I'm not aware that I was drawn towards the statue?
No, you were not aware what physically happened.
Okay.
But what you are aware of is that you were drawn towards the statue and you were like pulled towards it. And as you get closer to it, instead of the statue being bigger because you're closer, it actually shrunk down to proportional to your size. Like to a, like you are 6 feet plus size, your character. So the seated statue became like 4 feet. And as you get closer to it, all the noise of the pits receded. And the lights that were in the pits also receded. And it becomes really, really sort of dark. And as your eyes get used to it, you seem to be able to see because you have dark vision. And the sound of the city faded, but it is replaced by some sort of chanting, like a deep chorus of voices, which sounds like kind of like stones grinding against each other. And as your vision get more used to the darkness, you look up and you see that the platform that separates the pits from the grubs has disappeared. And you could actually see the bigger statue that makes up the external wall of the Leviathan city, but similarly shrunk down a little bit. So if you imagine that statue in front of you as a coffin, that bigger statue is kind of like a more solemn, but it's kind of a big one. So it's kind of like containing this small statue. You can see the edge because of the sort of like the shrunk down size. So the edge of the big statue is maybe around, I would say 200 feet away from you, because you're right in the middle of the whole thing. Aalil, at the same moment, because of your feet, you felt someone looking at you. You turn around, and you saw this lady, slightly older lady, and she looked at you. She smiled, gave you a nod, and she's a figure in clearly wearing armor, and has a white cape of like the symbol of Galen, which is a sun and a warhammer. She has black hair tied in a tight spun. The sides of her hair are grayish white, She looks kind of stern, but when she smiles, her eyes sort of like brighten up a little bit. Um, she's somewhat taller than you, but not like she's not like huge, like Brienne of Tar like that. But she's tall. She's about 6 feet tall and kind of slender, relatively speaking. But she walks with like confidence. Like she's very assured of herself. And what she's doing is, as she smiled, nodded to you, she went back to what she's doing. She's basically giving food and water to the homeless, to the beggars, and you also notice that she probably is healing them a little bit. And that's the situation where you guys are in. So, what are you gonna do?
My notes and see that they say exactly all of that.
So first thing is be bitter.
So, Corrin, let's go to you first. You are like in the front of the party, and you guys have decided. Oh, by the way, yeah, I mean, I think you remember your guide basically said that, oh, I have something ongoing, and he just ran off. So,
With Corrin's money.
yeah. So, Corrin, you're in front of the party, and you guys have decided that we are going to eavesdrop a little bit on what the dwarves are talking about.
Yeah, so that's what I'm focused on.
Okay. So, as you approach them, you can hear, I mean, in Dwarvish, of course, the three of them was like pointing excitedly on one of the hands of the statue, and one of them was like, well, it's not supposed to be there. And then someone's like, well, what do you mean it's not supposed to be there? Look at it. Clearly it's missing. It's supposed to mean something. What do you mean it's not there? Not supposed to be there. You can see it. There's this mark there. It left a mark. It must have been, is that a sign? Because every other details looks like is an exact replica of the big statue. And it's kind of weird because these are three dwarfs, but they're speaking very excitedly, kind of like a halfling. Having, I mean, they're very atypical of dwarfs that you have met so far. And of course, the argument goes back and forth, things like that.
You're comparing the model statue to the larger Sky Piercer statue?
Well, the bigger statue that makes up the exterior wall of Leviathan City. Yeah.
But they're saying that they don't match?
Yeah, so one of them, I mean, you'll see that they are pointing actually to an armband that is on the left hand of the statue.
Is there anything of interest about this armband that I can notice?
Well, you definitely notice that there's something looks like it's supposed to be there because there's sort of a depression, like sort of carved, and then there's a little bit of a depression there. But roll a intelligence check for me.
And anything specific or just intelligence straight?
Just straight up intelligence.
Oh,
wow.
What a waste.
Okay.
Never seen someone so mad about getting a nat 20.
Yeah, right.
As you look at the statue, you're like, that the color of the statue, the stone works, it kind of reminds you of the belt, the stone belt that Rothor was wearing.
Okay. So the stone of this statue reminds me of Roper's belt.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, Rothor doesn't have any accessory on him except for a belt that looks like it's made of stone. And by the way, Nailo, as wherever you are, the towers are gone. All the stone structure that has been converted, that has like hollowed out and has doors in them, those are all gone.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, where you are standing right now, it looks like you are in a cave somewhere, maybe, and like all this stone structure that looks like natural to you, and wherever you are, looks exactly like they are where they are. I mean, where they are supposed to be. So like a natural rock formation. All right, let's switch our attention to Aalil.
So I think I'm gonna approach the priestess if she's available or if she's willing to let me approach, and I'll greet her. And what was the name of the symbol that she serves?
Galen?
Yeah.
Galen? Do I recognize that
Well,
god?
you do know that god. I mean, that god is typically the god of well, I mean, of people who are who follows the law and and do good, though if they strictly follow the law, sometimes the good might be kind of well, relative speaking, in a sense. But yeah, kind of lawful good type of god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll approach her and I'll say, hello, sister. It appears that you're a follower of Galen. It looks like you're doing some fine work for the members of the city.
So, greetings, brother.
My name is Aalil.
Oh, brother Leah. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, you can call me Sister Pilto.
What was it?
Sister Pilto. Or, if you like to call me by my name, it's Perek.
How do you spell that?
P-E-R-E-T-T-E.
Brett?
Yeah.
Okay.
P-E-R-E-T-T-E. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's yeah. I'm trying to do a French R here.
Sure.
So Prax. Pilto. Pilto is her last name.
Okay.
It's like the people here, not all people here have a home, and I think it is up to us to make sure that they are well taken care of, especially on this day of celebration. If you remember, today, this exact day is the founding day of Leviathan City.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was like a week-long celebration, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, but this is the exact day,
This is the day.
of the founding. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not 1 week, it's 2 weeks. So it's
2 weeks.
it's 2 weeks, but you're almost at the end of the 2 weeks, and one of those days is the exact founding day, which is today.
Today. Okay.
And timing wise, it's kind of like mid-morning for you because you guys started early and you had that you clear out some pests, and then yeah, so it's kind of mid-morning situation.
Yeah. I'll say it doesn't appear that there are many that care for the people of the lower city. Do you work with others that help those in need like yourself?
She's like, I think all of us work Galen's work, do Galen's work in our own ways. And I notice that you are part of the Three Sisters. You belong to the Three Sisters.
That's correct.
And I'm sure you do good work on their behalf too.
I do my best.
So what brings you here to Leviathan City?
We're travelers from foreign lands, and we've been kind of wandering from town to town and doing what we can to help those in need. And we're here on some business, but we're also finding that there's a lot of needs in the city as well.
Indeed. And what sets you on this faithful path?
That's a big question. there's a lot of different things that have led us here. We were brought here against our will, each of us from distant lands, and we initially were trying to find our way home. But since we banded together, we've encountered a lot of adventures, and now we're here to assist with finding some items and trying to meet some people that are important to track down some people that are missing as well.
Yeah, that's indeed important work. And but my question has to do with more what sets you on your faithful path.
Wow. Well, that's a long story as well, but I left my my faith of origin and found my way to the Three Sisters, kind of in my soul searching for new purpose in my life. And there seems to be some messages that I've been receiving that I'm not sure how to interpret. I've had visions and messages that have been hard to interpret, so I don't know what to do with them quite yet.
That sounds kind of similar to how I found my way here to Leviathan City too. It's like so she's like, I was originally from Central Diamist, but the churches there, pardon my words, I don't know how to soften those words. To put it simply, they are corrupt. They're so ingrained. They are so structured in the mindset.
Yeah, that was my experience as well.
I felt that, sort of. At that moment, you see like a pretty plump, sort of young boy in white robes, also having the Galen sign, came running, and he looks kind of like breathless and sort of relieved when he saw. So it's like, High Priestess, and then you see her like sharply turn her head, look at him, and he just stopped short. It's like, yes, Josiah, what did I say about calling me High Priestess? And he's like, I'm sorry, hi, Sister Brad, you left without telling anyone again, and hi Vic, brother Todd will blame me since I'm supposed to be and then he sort of like trailed off because she was like looking at him kind of sternly, and she's like, the voiceless needs a voice. I hope I suffice. And he seems to be directing that sentence towards you. And she's like, well, I wouldn't want to get you into trouble, Josiah. Kind of sarcastically. And then he turns to you and is like, I would love to continue our conversation. You can find me in the church, which is, and she points towards the divine tower. It's like, just come to the church. We can have a chat, and we can talk a little bit about your visions if you want to.
I'd love to do that.
All right. It's nice meeting you, Brother Adia.
It was very nice meeting you as well.
All right. At this point, we can switch to Nailo. What are you going to do?
Well, it's just me and the 4-foot statue, correct?
You are standing sort of in front of the 4-foot statue.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think and it's not moving, still a statue, all that.
It's a statue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Is
you
there-
start hearing like chanting,
Yeah.
chanting. Like they sound pretty far away,
Yeah.
but it's there.
Okay. Is there anything I notice unusual about this statue?
Roll a perception.
Where's my perception? Ooh.
Oh, not bad. It didn't look anything unusual, but at this size, it looks almost real,
Mhm.
except that it's made of stone. Like it looks very lifelike in a sense.
Okay.
You're not very sure if it is because you're not looking up at something that is big and you think like, oh, it's obviously a statue. And then once it's shrunk down, because of the details, which is there in the big one, I mean in the regular size, and when it's shrunk down, the details are still there. So it looks kind of very lifelike.
Yeah. Can I call out? Just, hello, is anyone there?
And your voices sort of like echo, hello, 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 anyone there, anyone there?
Hello, it's me.
There is no reply.
No reply. I'll
Me, you've been looking for.
approach the statue.
Okay.
I think you should go up behind it, like in that movie Ghosts, and wrap your arms around the sky piercer. Just massage it, right?
He seems so tense, so hard.
Right.
You gotta relax.
Rock hard.
Yeah, just been working out. So I'll approach the statue and I will reach out and try and just kind of touch the arm and see
Sure.
if anything happens, if there's anything weird.
No, there's nothing. I mean, it felt. If the surface definitely felt like stone. And it, for all intents and purposes, it feels and like stone.
I'll circle around the statue and try and take a closer look at it. Is there
Okay.
anything around the back or anything like that?
The statue is very fully detailed, so even the back has like full details of the clothing that it is wearing, and you notice that the clothing is very simple. It's not as if that the way it is carved, it looks just like a simple shirt, vest over it, button up in front, and leaving, of course, the arms exposed, which you notice earlier on when you guys stepped into towards the statue. And you see, as you're walking around, you notice that the area where the statue is situated, like the floor, is has a very, very nice details tile work. It's colorful. Well, it's kind of dark vision, so you can't really tell if it's like super colorful, but it's very intricate, I will say. Like there's a very intricate design, where it's sitting like sort of like surrounded in a square, sort of squarish type of fashion. And you also notice that there are several objects maybe placed in front of it, like some carvings, some sort of like kind of like an offering, but maybe not an offering, or maybe just a sign of respect or something like that.
Okay. There's no plaques.
Yeah.
Nothing says anything.
No plaques, no nothing. There is if I mean you roll a 23. Okay. So if you look directly upwards, right, you do see this you notice this shimmering web of like almost kind of white, pearly white, shimmery thing that sort of like sits above it. That you think might be providing some of the light, but you're not 100% sure. Yeah, but it looks like stonework, but web light, and it looks like very what do you call delicate? Yeah, it looks kind of delicate. Yeah. All right, as you think about this, let's switch back to the dwarfs and the halfling. So what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just kind of interrupt the dwarves and say, "Excuse me, good sirs. I couldn't help but overhear you discuss
One of them
the
is a female
statue."
dwarf.
What's that?
One of them is a female dwarf.
Oh,
Do you have a full beard though?
She has
Naturally.
two braided beards. Yeah.
So is that, does he find that attractive? Or
That's up to
No.
Corrin. It's not up to me.
well, perception.
All right. I mean, yeah, you greet them and they turn around, they look at this, they see a halfling and they say, "Oh, hi. You are not part of the clan here, are you? The one with like the one long beard with like a bright yellow vest and green pants." Is like he looks at you a little bit suspiciously and like, you're not one of those, you're not one of that clan, are you?
I just arrived yesterday. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Good. Come on in. Come on in. Are you having fun?
Well, I was looking for a special shop, and somebody said they could take me there, and then they stole my money. But other than that, it's been all right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, how much did you lose?
Oh, just a gold piece.
Okay. So you are rich, huh? It's just one
No.
gold piece, huh?
I wouldn't say rich, but you know.
All right. So are you enjoying the festivity here? It seems like everyone is like having fun and like drinking. You know, pardon the way I'm saying, drinking like a dwarf. Not us. We don't drink. Yeah, we have special things that we smoke.
Oh, a little different party for you folks, eh?
Well, I mean, you know, us dwarfity clan dwarfs, we are different.
Well, I hope that you are enjoying your stay here in Leviathan City as well. I certainly plan to partake of various frivolity once I am able.
When you're able. I mean, are you not able here now?
I'll just have to take care of some business first, naturally.
What are you taking care of? The female the female dwarf with like the two beard, and she's like wearing this sparkling multicolored clothes over her bright blue frock, and she's like, "Is it fun?"
One of our tasks is probably fun. It is shopping, and it is shopping for a store that apparently moves around the city somehow.
He's like, "Oh, I don't like shopping."
No?
No.
Well.
We are artists. We made, all our dwarf artists made a pilgrimage to this city just to admire this statue. I mean, look at it. Look at how lifelike this looks like. Have you seen anything like this? And look at the floor. Look at the floor. Even it's covered with dirt. Look at how intricate some of the designs are. Is that a flower? Is that a gem? Is that a gem that looks like a flower, or a flower that looks like a gem? I don't know.
Well, I think as a piece of art, it would be open to the interpretation of the viewer.
Yeah.
And you can decide for yourself.
But we are art scholars. We discuss things like that. And the third dwarf sort of like just ignores you. He was just looking at the thing. And he's like, I still think it is meant to be like that. It meant to be different. So that there's a point of discussion. So that, it sparks conversation. It's like, oh, hi there.
Hello.
There's a third one, the one with like 3 braided knots on his like chin, and then he has the pink ascot, and he wears like a pretty loud like red jacket.
So I was overhearing your conversation, and it sounds like you are suggesting that the statue here is intentionally different from the wall statue.
Yeah, I mean, that is my view. I mean, Helma there, he points to the first dwarf. It's like, he thinks that someone took something out of it. Like, I mean, how? It's a statue. It's a fracking statue.
Well, if your clan is pilgrimaging here often, won't you have records of changes to this statue if any have been made?
And then the 3 of them look at each other and it's like, we didn't think of that. But no one ever said that they have seen something there before. All the papers that we have read, all the discussion says that it's supposed to be there, it's supposed to be absent, it's meant to be absent, it's a mistake. I don't know. I think it's meant to be absent.
How long
where are you from?
I'm from a long way from here.
Like us?
Well, I don't know where you're from, but I'm not from this continent.
Well, have you not heard of the beautiful village of Quartzmar?
Have I heard of the beautiful village of Quartzmar?
Yeah, it is the most beautiful village that is not in the mountain itself. We are sort of at the fringe of the, Macrot kingdom, kind of closer to the.
Excuse me. Do I know of the village of Quartzmar?
Roll a history check.
No!
No, you do not. This is the first time you heard of it. And then they went on on length, but what you know is that they are on the other side of the Macrot Mountains, which is closer to the human settlements than
on the eastern continent.
Yes. So they are not near the water. They are closer to the human settlements, and they're on the, like, I mean, the way they put it is like, we are sort of like at the fringe. We are kind of like the cutting edge of like dwarven society, but you get the sense that they might be sort of like coloring it a little bit. They might be kind of outcast.
Gotcha.
All right. Switch back to earlier. At this point, you finished your conversation with the high priestess. What do you do?
I'll turn my attention to my other teammates.
Yeah. Okay. And you saw that Nailo is just standing there, like in the middle, like halfway between you and Corrin, and he's not moving. Corrin is like fully engrossed with speaking with like the three dwarfs.
Okay. I'll go take a look at Nailo to see what's going on with him.
He's just standing there.
Can I like snap next to him, next to his ear, or his eye, like in front of his face?
Sure. I mean, you try to catch his attention to see what's happening. He doesn't seem to be aware of what you're doing.
Are his eyes open?
His eyes are open. He's just looking straight ahead. They're not even like, he doesn't even blink when you do this, or you try to like wave in front of him or whatever.
I'll grab his shoulder and kind of shake him a little bit.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Zombie.
I'll go over and join Corrin then, and
no
at some
concern
point,
for your party mate.
I'll alert him to what's going on with you, but I'll wait for a moment when I can get his attention.
All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can definitely like butt in halfway through, or when they are catching their breath after they spew out like the almost kind of abridged version of the history of Quartzmar, and how the village is like at the forefront of like artistic dwarven artistic renaissance, that kind of thing. And then Corrin, you notice Aalil walking towards you, of course.
Do you know Dwarvish?
Yes, I think the two of you know Dwarvish.
I do, yeah.
So I notice Aalil coming towards me.
Yeah.
So I wave at him, beckon him over.
I'll say, I hate to interrupt your conversation, and I'll apologize to dwarves and say I don't mean to interrupt your very interesting story that it sounds like you're telling, but Corrin, it appears that our friend is in need of some assistance. Something's going on with him right now.
So all four of you turn around and you see Nailo just standing there, and then and then Helma, the very first dwarf, started laughing. He's like, is he trying to be a statue?
I've never known Nailo to be a quiet one.
Oh,
I think I should check him out, make sure he's okay.
He's like, okay. It's nice talking to you. I hope you find a moving store, shopping, something. And you did give us some things to think about. We should check our records of the people who made the pilgrimages here to see if they notice what we noticed. Maybe we should go back 3 generations. I think that should be sufficient. No, 2 generations maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you.
Sure thing. Safe travels.
Oh, you too. And I hope you. Well, I mean, your rich sort doesn't mind losing money. One gold piece. What is it?
Ah, you know.
The pittance.
Yeah. All right, so you
Alright.
walk back towards Nailo, right? And
Mhm.
he's just standing there. Okay, while you decide what to do, Nailo, what are you gonna do?
Can I pull out my bow and arrow
Okay.
and try and shoot that shimmering light above the statue?
Sure.
I haven't come up with many good ideas, okay?
Okay. I mean,
Don't judge me.
yeah. I mean, you can just roll and attack.
All right.
When all else fails, violence is a valid option.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
saying.
went up, but you sort of misjudge how far the thing is, and it just like sort of like arch upwards and then come right down.
Oh, wait. Did I roll the wrong thing? I rolled the
Oh.
damage.
Euro damage. Okay.
I don't know why I posted that.
Oh, same thing.
It's the same.
Here we go.
It's exactly the same.
3 11s. Just three
What?
11s.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
All right, so not
Yeah.
enough oomph.
Yeah. Can you roll another perception for me?
Yes, I can. Probably an 11. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so as you picked up the arrow, you sort of like look out towards you, and you notice that there might be several smaller, I mean more of these statues far away, like outside the big statue. So basically you look across to your left and you see like, oh, maybe there's another one there, of a different elevation, which is why you can see it. And then you look to your right and you see maybe another one or two there. And then you notice that the chanting is not just localized to you. Like the chanting seems to be reverberating like throughout, kind of like far back. So
well, I will walk over to one of those statues.
well, I mean they are outside the big statue,
Oh, they're
so
out.
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically you have one, and then you have this big one, and then you notice like maybe outside of it, somewhere a little bit higher up, there's another one. And then on the right side, maybe there's like two more. But I mean, your night vision doesn't extend that far out. So those places are lit. That's why you can see, but dimly lit. So you kind of like know that there's something there. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a long ways away.
Kind of a long way. So if you're where you're standing to the edge of the thing is about 200 feet. So maybe around another 100 or 200 feet away. So you notice that each one is in the same situation. You have one smaller one, and then you have a bigger one that's a replica, and then and that's what you're seeing. But most of the light is concentrating on the smaller one, just like the shimmering thing, right? The light is actually concentrating on this small one, not on the bigger statue.
Can I use, let's see. Can I try like using my 4 elements discipline and create some fire, light, or something like that next to the statue?
Okay. I mean, you try to access your chi, but nothing happens.
Oh, I'm in the spirit world. Can't use my
Yeah.
my avatar powers.
Yeah, I missed something because you roll a 23 in your very first perception. you notice that the statue has uh looks humanoid, but has a very angular features,
Mhm.
and the angular features have like sharp corners. So even though they look very lifelike, you're beginning to notice that maybe these are not normal humanoids that you know, like they are not elves, they are not humans, but they are humanoids.
Hmm. Okay. Let's see. Well, tried talking to them, touching them. Can't use my chi.
Could you move the statue, like
That's what I was wondering. Is like that's kind of
push
the next
it
thing. Is like, can I
or
push them?
rotate it?
Yeah. Yeah. Can I
Um,
try moving the statue at all?
sure, roll a strength check.
Oh
Doesn't
no.
budge,
Oh, it doesn't budge.
You slip and fall on the statue.
and I break my neck.
What have you tried so far? Sorry, I had to take a short
Touching
work
it,
call.
talking to it.
Yeah.
I tried to make some light fire or something next to it, but I can do my chi powers, and then I tried like moving the statue. That
And you
didn't
caress it.
work.
Have you tried listening to the chanting?
Well, it just said like sounded like rocks grinding low.
I don't know if you heard Tyler say, but he noticed that there were some other statues in the distance
Yeah,
far away.
but they're like really far away. So could try
Look, maybe look around to see if there's other statues that are.
Well, there's the two statues, right? Is that what you said, Tyler? The
There's two in one way and then one another way.
Yeah, so you can.
Yeah.
So basically, you notice that outside the big statue, there are probably several more smaller ones. But the reason why you can see it, like I said, is because there's light shining on them, dimly shining on them, because otherwise your night vision doesn't go that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess I could try walking over to some of them. It's a pretty long walk, I imagine. But
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, but how are you going to get to them? Are
walking.
you going to climb over the side, or?
Yeah. I mean, you said they're raised up a little bit, but
Well, I mean, you're still within the big statue, right? So even though it's shrunk down, you still have to climb over it if that's what you want. So if you're going to make a straight line for it, that's probably the only way you can do it.
okay. Sure. I'll try that.
Okay?
Going over.
To your left or to your right?
Go towards the two. So is that to the right?
Okay, so it's to the right. Right. So as you approach them, the chanting gets louder as you get to the edge of the big statue, and as the chanting gets louder, you start hearing the noise of the Leviathan city coming back to you, and then so as the closer you get to the edge of the big statue, the louder the noises of Leviathan City comes back to you. And as the chanting crescendos, you felt a vibration all around you. And it started kind of in a controlled fashion and gradually increase. And then you hear someone say, in a language that you have never heard before, but you understood the language. It says something is wrong. The vibrations became kind of chaotic, and then all around you, you notice the two that you saw that you were approaching just blinked out, and you quickly turn around. The one that you saw on the other side also quickly blinked out, and then you hear a loud like tearing sound, like a crack and things like that. And then everything starts breaking apart, and you're sort of thrown into the air. And the next thing you know, Corrin and Aalil is like standing in front of you.
Did you guys see that happen?
What?
Where have you been?
Where have you guys been?
We've been here.
I've been sort of here. So, okay, I'll go through and just kind of explain what happened, what I saw, the chanting with the multiple little statues, and the hearing a language that I don't know that I understood, saying something's wrong, and then like a tearing sound and everything breaking apart. So you guys don't know anything about that? doesn't sound
Doesn't sound familiar.
doesn't sound familiar, huh? Okay.
I talked to some friendly artistic dwarves. Never what, I don't know, but they're over there and they're nice.
Did they slip me something?
I don't think they did. They were pretty absorbed in observing the statue there.
Okay.
Have you had any mincemeat pies lately?
I have not had any laced mincemeat pies.
crossing wires.
Yeah.
I've heard legends told.
Yeah, there are many stories about mincemeat pies of Barovia, right? I'm gonna ask Nailo if the statues that he saw in the distance, were they a certain direction in relation to the statue that we're standing in? Like, can we orient ourselves to which direction they would have been in?
Yeah, I mean, he would know which direction because they're kind of like pretty obvious because he was standing in front of them and he was walking around, and then he noticed where they are. So in relationship to this statue, he would know where they are.
Yeah.
But they are going to be way further,
right?
Because where he was, it seems like everything has shrunk now, and then now everything is back to like normal size or whatever. Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is if
in relation to the towers.
No, the towers were not there.
Okay, well, I didn't know if like the towers are in the same place as like, like
no.
if
so the
one of them was or something.
So the stone structures is there. The stone structures of the pits are there, but the towers are all not there. So anything that that doesn't look like it's natural is not there. So the only artificial thing that you saw was the smaller statue and the bigger statue, and that weird webbing up there, but that's about it.
Okay.
Tyler, if you're willing to share the main map of the region, I guess I'm wondering if when you say they're far away, would it be like, a certain direction in the region outside of Leviathan City is kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay, let me go back.
Oh, like some points outside of.
Yeah, like if it's zoomed out to a larger view, I'm wondering if there might be, even if we don't know exactly how far out they would be, if there's a direction that we could ascertain.
Yeah. So this is the big map, right? The bigger map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the road leading in, don't look at where it's leading into the city, but basically, you're coming in from the east side into the city. Mm-hmm. So if you think of the statue in the middle and it's facing east, so you're kind of like in the north and the south direction, roughly. Yeah. I mean, there's some elevation involved, so you don't know if that sort of skew your direction or a bit, but it's essentially the north and the south.
So So Nailo would have been seeing those statues towards the south of Leviathan City? Is that the direction that he was looking at?
Yeah. So basically, the entrance to Leviathan City is kind of like east, and then to the north and the south, and then of course the Sky Piercer is in the western part of the whole city. So
Okay.
in that sense, from kind of like to give the orientation.
Are you trying to figure out like if like on scale, like if there's the two statues, they would be like over on the sides or something?
Right. That's what I was kind of wondering, if there's anything.
One up there or something. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and I have no idea if there's any way to tell which direction they would have been, but that's, I guess, what I was trying to kind of get a sense of, is if we could kind of have an idea of if these statues are supposed to be in the region outside of Leviathan City, if there's any way that we could get an idea of where they might be.
Like if Leviathan City was the statue I was standing next to.
Right, exactly.
Right. So if you look at the I mean, you're within the pits, right? So from where you're standing to the edge of the city itself, right, is kind of like maybe around, I would say 500, no, closer to like 600 feet. So, but in your vision, as you approach it, it's closer to 200 feet. So it's not going to be so far out because you can still see it, right? So it's kind of, what I mean, like, is
we're thinking too grand of a scale.
Yeah. So if you can see it, if you think there are statues around it, you should be able to see if you can get to a higher vantage point.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard because I couldn't tell how much the scale was changing when you were talking about things shrinking, and so I couldn't tell if he's talking about like seeing something that's in
correct
like Highwind Village or something.
So I would say that it's shrunk by about, so it's about 40% of the normal size. So I was thinking it in that sense, like the statue in front of you is about like 10 feet tall. But when in Nailo's vision, because it shrunk down to Nailo size, and it's about like maybe 4 feet seated, so it's kind of like 40% of the size. So everything is shrunk down in that scale.
Okay. So back to Leviathan City.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. What's next? What are you guys doing next?
Well, I guess if Nilo's having visions, and if that vision is over, then we might be limited on being able to do much about it, unless there's more visions that come his way later.
Or we find some statues or something.
Right.
Unless those statues were people, like controlling that vision or something. I don't know.
But they were people at one point. They're not intricate carvings, they're just people.
When you look at the statue now, Nailo, does it look like the statue that was in your vision, or is there anything different about it?
Now it's like back up to full scale, is that right?
Yeah. It's like 10 feet tall, but it's exactly the same as what you saw.
Yeah.
Same
just smaller. Or no, it's bigger.
Yeah. So even if you walk as you walk behind it, and you also know, I mean, they look the same, and you notice that the intricate carving on the floor is there. So it's here. So which is which you can kind of tell from the map, right? Is this grayish part. So that's the outline of where the intricate design on the floor sits. I mean, it's kind of covered now in parts by dirt and stuff like that, but it's there. You can see it, and the dwarfs did point that out to Corrin as well.
Okay. Well, should we continue on our journey then? Now that I've finished tripping.
Yeah.
So where are you headed?
We're gonna try to talk to the local constabulatories.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the popo.
Yeah, I mean, so your guide was telling you that they are most likely you're most likely going to find people in near the guardhouse, which is where I just pinged you guys, and then you definitely do see people guards like at the door over here, even though the gates are like wide open, but they're there handing out the laws and punishment, the crime and punishment leaflet to people that are coming in. Yeah, but from where you're seeing, there's this huge main boulevard that leads out to the city. I mean, leads outside the city, and you can find some guard. So yeah, easily. I mean, you can approach any one of them.
Right. We'll let the cleric take the lead.
Okay. I'll approach one of the guards and greet him. Tell him that it's a fine day to celebrate this city's founding day.
It's like, well, it's a fine day as long as you are lawful citizens and lawful people.
Of course. But we do have some unfortunate business to report. It appears that there was a infestation that occurred in the lower town that we took care of, and we wanted to alert somebody that has some authority to do something about it.
And you see him like he see him mumble something is like, and he's basically saying again, and and he's like sure, tell me where it is. We will go investigate. And I mean, did you describe what those things are?
Yeah. Sturges.
Okay. Yeah, and then they're like, yeah. I mean, it's not the first time we have been trying to take care of this situation for a couple of months now. So yeah.
Okay.
But we thank you for helping us clear it. And you said it is in the section closer to the city walls between the Sky Piercer and the information tower.
Yes, I'll give them the best directions that I can with my limited knowledge.
He's like, okay. He's like, sure. Yeah, I mean, he's like shaking his head, and he's like, here we go. And you see, he's like, all right. Don't let that distract you from the festivities.
I'll warn you that there are some dead bodies. Unfortunately, some people did not make it through the attack.
He's like, well, I mean, what can we do, right?
Has anybody investigated any kind of source of this, or tried to put an end to the source?
I mean, I've been, stationed here for the past 3 years. Nothing of this sort has happened until the past, I say, half a year. Yeah, we are trying our best to stop. I mean, there seems to be coming out from underground the sewers are clean, so we don't know where they're coming from. So but we are trying to stop. We've been telling all residents to make sure that there's no holes uh, on the floors. But you can see this is a huge place, and not everyone gets the message. So
Has there been any changes happening lately that may be driving these creatures up from under the ground?
well, I mean, roll a charisma check.
Nope, I should have taken the lead.
Let's see. Just general charisma,
Just
or
a general
persuasion?
charisma. I mean, you don't have any charisma.
I have persuasion.
Okay, then roll a persuasion check, just to see if you can like pull out some information from him. Oh, okay. He's like, look, I know. I mean, you look like you are a man of faith. It's like, I don't know, right? We don't know where it's coming from. We know it's coming from below the city, and we have heard. If you are to believe, some people have heard like odd noises coming down from below, screams, and weird animalistic kind of sound. Look, if you ask me, this city is going to shit, but I can't leave. It's my job. I don't know what to do. He's like, but you did not hear it from me.
I get you. Your word is safe with me. When you say from below, are you talking? You mentioned sewers, but you said the sewers are safe. So these monsters are not coming from sewers.
We went down to investigate. The sewers were clean. The maintenance crew claimed that there's nothing happening.
Is there anything else below the city that anybody's aware of?
There's only two levels of sewers. That's it. I mean, our water comes from a underground water stream supply, but that's about it. And it has been here for like 600 odd years since the founding of the city.
Did anything changed in the city in the past few months?
Like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought he's your son. But I'm sorry. He's like, no, nothing has changed. Everything is the same.
All right. Well, is there a bounty for helping with Sturges anywhere?
He's like, no. You're just helping people. That's good enough bounty in my eyes.
Sounds good to me. Just remember.
What? What is that? It's like, be on your way. I mean, just go enjoy yourself. You don't look like locals, so have fun and don't let those creatures distract you. And the citizens is going to be happy that you help clear out some pests.
Oh yeah, but all right. While you're here, where do you know where the hidden depository is?
Does he know? He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Well, the guy that stole your money said it was off kind of to the northwest, right?
Yeah, somewhere over here.
Should we go poke around that way?
Yeah.
I mean, he says that is in that is like right off the drippy den where the alley, and it goes in, and then it's like go up to the third floor at the back, and then you go around, comes down to the second floor, and then go across, and that's where you'll find it. That's what he says.
Yeah, on the third floor.
No, he says third floor. I think then he says come down, and then one floor.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm. What was the Drippy Dan again? Is that an inn?
Yeah, it's an inn.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you travel between that path, and you actually get to see the Drippy there. It's just
I don't know if I want to see a Drippy Dan.
you do see it. It's an inn. It's not drippy. I mean, fortunately, it's not drippy.
You said
It's just the name.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just the name.
Tyler wants to see a Drippy
Drippy
Dan.
Dan. And yeah, and you know the way they paint drippy, it looks like the paint is like dripping down. But otherwise, it looks like a really busy kind of normal tavern. Kind of what you expected, in this area. It's kind of not modest. It's the one below is like poor or something. Yeah, but it's normal. It's just an inn, and there is definitely a path towards. I mean, a little bit north of it, a small alley that you can go in.
Let's head there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you follow the directions, and you do get to you get to a door, a closed wooden door. That's where you find yourself if you follow the directions. And I assume that you're thinking of the hidden repository.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're thinking about it. The door looks kind of plain and nondescript. And initially, there's a doorknob. But as you think about it, the doorknob disappears. And in the center of the door, a round brass knockers appear. It's plain, and it looks kind of faded.
Well.
Seems like we're in the right place.
All right. I think we found it, boys. I'll go up to the door knocker.
We finally found
Can you
the leak.
reach it?
The drip.
Can I reach it?
Yes, you can.
I get on my hands and knees so he can stand on my back.
Give me a boost.
Dad.
And knock 4 times, then 4 times, then 2 times, then 4 times, then 3 times.
Glad you wrote that down.
Yeah, I mean, you were expecting something to happen, and then nothing happens, and then you find yourself standing inside the shop, and it's brightly lit, and it looks kind of. Give me a second. I need to find. So it's brightly lit, and it looks kind of messy, and there were like stacks and stacks of box upon cabinets, and it looks like they could like all topple over any minute. And it goes up. You're on the second floor. I mean, well, when you knock on it, you're on the second floor. It looks like it goes up one more floor higher. So like this space and the space above it's all it's sort of like knock open, so you're like in a tall space. And you notice that in one corner there is a large scorpion that is made of like, you assume it's jade because it looks like a jade stone scorpion that's like at one corner hanging upside down and looking down at you.
Like alive?
Roll perception.
Might be alive.
You can tell if it is alive or not, or if it's just a stone decoration. So, and in front of you, sort of like on top of the stairs, you see a man with like white hair and there's like an icy blue sheen, sort of matching his icy blue eyes, and he has like pale complexion, and his obvious almond-shaped eyes and sharp nose, and kind of like pointed ears, says elf, but and more specifically drow, but his stockier and broader musculature says human, so it's a half drow. And he has a quill in one hand. He's wearing pretty nondescript clothing, not even a robe. It's just like a normal shirt and pants. He has a quill in one hand and a book in the other, and he looks curiously at the three of you, with the raven, and it's like, not a regular, but using a regular Znog. Who sent you?
Agamon from Husknoll.
So what does Zeoman wants today?
He has asked for our assistance in locating a trinket of his that he has misplaced, and he believed you may be able to help us.
I gave him all the information I know. So, what did he sell you?
Sell me?
Yeah. What do you know?
What do I know?
You know that he told us to get his watch, right? Or his a pocket watch?
No, if you remember,
It's a trinket.
He handed Corrin a drawing of the trinket. It's kind of like a clock.
Clock, that's what.
Like a desk clock, basically.
Desk clock, okay.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But it has like a design on it in front of it and things like that. Yeah.
When did you speak with Agmon?
It is none of your business.
Okay. He sent us to you, hoping you may be able to provide some additional assistance.
The troublesome old man, huh?
Yeah, kind of the way he is, I guess.
And he's like, he look at you, the three of you. Okay. It looks pretty closely at Corrin. And then he's like, okay. He nodded. He's like, well, the night of the raid, a low fog hung around the city. and there were sighting of a shadow of a winged creature flanking over the city, but no such sighting up north or the surrounding area. There were also reports of injured couches arriving back to the city a couple of days later. So, from what I could figure out, I would say the winged creature is likely a dragon. And he or she is, living in the city as a humanoid.
Dragons can transform into humans?
Do you know about dragons?
Do I know about dragons?
How would you know about dragons?
How would I know if I don't know about dragons?
I mean, roll an intelligence check.
I know a little bit about dragons.
No, you don't.
Look, that's above average knowledge of dragons.
Above average. Yeah, okay, but
I know nothing.
no, wait, that is Aalil. No. I was asking for Corrin. Corrin, did you roll it?
You not see it?
Oh, you did.
13.
You rolled 13. Okay. Yes, there are rumors that dragons could transform into humanoids, and there are legends about dragons, like some dragons living among humans. In particular, silver dragons have been known to live among humanoids, and it appears that they do prefer the company of shorter-lived intelligent beings. But it's not known about. But the chromatic dragons, you're not 100% sure. But you do know that, from what you know, most dragons can transform themselves.
I'm behind the two and I go, it's a joke.
Doing what now?
Nothing.
He's trying to pretend like he's a dragon.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, before you interrupted me, I also heard rumors of the dragon landing on the sky piercer under the cover of the low fog. So I suspect that you will find whatever they took in the sky piercer, or perhaps the information tower. So if that is where you're headed, the safest way is below in the city sewers. The maintenance crew had seen some stuff happening underneath the towers. So I suggest you shut there. Then he fished out, he flipped his book and he fished out like a card, and he handed it to you, and he says that go to the catch and run. Moria Abrick there will give you access to the jewels. Just show him this, and he will understand. Wait, where's my? Okay, and this is what he shows. He gave to Corrin.
What is your name?
Deposit.
I see that now.
Since you made your way to my shop, would you like to buy something?
Potentially. Maybe we might have something that you would be interested in.
Hmm. Well, we shall see.
What kind of wares do you have for sale?
Well, this is a magical shop. Anything in particular you are looking for? And you
Yeah.
see him like walk down the steps.
Yeah, always, man.
Potions, something to help you in fighting, armor. You
Those are
look
always
like.
nice.
Say it again.
Those are always nice.
Hmm.
Magical weapons or magical armor or protection can always be helpful to adventurers.
So you see him wave his quill, and like one of the bugs like sort of like came out and floated down in front of you, and it's kind of like just hang there in the middle, and then he just like open up the box, and you see a very ornate breastplate, and it seems like there's like made up of like two different metals, and it's like, well, um this is made of one of the hardest material in this world. It's a adamantine breastplate, if you know.
What are the stats on that?
What do you mean?
Well, what like, is it light armor, medium armor, plates?
It's a medium armor. It's
Yeah.
just a breastplate, so it's not a full suit of armor. So let me see. I can.
Is it like AC +2?
It is not real. It is not really the AC +2, but it is 14 plus the Dex modifier.
That wouldn't
It's
be
just
helpful for me.
rare, but it's not exactly magical.
I've already got this fine elven scale mail that I'm wearing.
He's like, oh, okay. And he waves it, and everything comes back and go back to the same place. And then he pulls out something else. He's like, something for protection, huh? This might be useful. And then he waves it again, and then this came out. And then the moment the box opened, you see a leather armor that seems to be like made out of maybe some sort of flesh. It looks kind of, and then a mouth
All
appeared.
leather armor made out of flesh?
Yeah, but it doesn't look like pure leather. So then the mouth appeared in the middle of the leather armor, and it's like, and you hear a voice like, "Yo, bro, you showing me off again?" And then it's like, "What is the agreement that you do not speak unless spoken to? Look, bro, you kept me in the box for years, not days, years. I get bored. I could put you back for another few years." And then you see the mouth open as if to say something, and then it kept quiet, and then the mouth disappeared. So this ignore the talking, but this
It's not exactly good for stealth, huh?
No.
is like no, but it can protect you against lightning. It absorbs lightning damage, and it has a weird kind of conditioning to it. It gets tougher as you fight with it more. So in terms of game mechanics, wearing it in a melee and dealing for every 20 hit points of damage you deal while you're wearing it, the armor class goes up +1 as a leather, up to up to a certain limit, which unless you wear it, you do not know what the limit is. So,
Can I wear leather as a monk? I don't remember.
It's the lowest level of armor.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but I think if I remember correctly, there's going to be some other restriction when you wear an armor.
I think monks are better to not wear armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
Some of your other stuff.
Yeah.
Get an unarmored movement improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corrin, can you wear leather armor?
I have no idea.
It's light, I think, isn't it?
It is light. I don't have light proficiency that I can see.
I don't think you have any armor proficiency. I don't think a warlock's supposed to wear anything either. Yeah, I don't think you have any armor proficiency.
So I've got to get going because it's almost midnight here. But maybe we can think about that armor between now and the next time that we play.
Yeah.
And whatever else you guys want to buy, you can think about it, because you see a lot of boxes, so it's not exactly up to him to basically like show you what you want. I think it's more like, maybe you can think of something that is like, I want something else, and do you have something similar, that kind of thing. It might be easy on it.
All right. So next session is a shopping spree.
There we go.
Shopping episode, maybe
Our own little drippy QVC.
Drippy QVC.